Hello, and welcome to day 4 of the Self-Love Challenge. Super grateful to have you here. And on that note, we are actually doing a gratitude theme for today. So we'll start with a gratitude meditation, and then we'll move on to a gratitude-themed yoga flow. So wherever you're at, find a nice, comfortable way to be seated. And then I invite you to either close your eyes or find a soft gaze in front of you. Start to bring your awareness to your breath, noticing on the inhale as your chest rises, and on the exhale as it falls. And if a thought wanders through your mind, simply acknowledge it and let it pass on by, almost imagining it as a cloud that passes in the sky. Begin to bring your hands, palms together, resting over your heart center. Noticing the natural rhythm of your breath. With each inhale, you welcome in gratitude and peace. With each exhale, release anything that doesn't serve you, thought, sensation, tension. Release your hands, palms facing the ceiling over top either one of your knees. They can rest right there. Now start to bring to mind something simple you're grateful for. It could be your favorite cozy space in your room, a warm cup of coffee or tea, or even an inanimate object that makes life a little easier for you. Start to picture the source of gratitude in detail, imagining the colors, the sensations, and even the emotions that arise. Allow your heart to fill with more gratitude, having it sink deeper within your being. Next, bring to mind someone you're grateful for. Maybe it's a friend, colleague, or maybe it's even a celebrity or famous person that you admire. Think of the reasons why you are grateful for this person. And now think of an experience you had that you're grateful for. Maybe it was an experience traveling somewhere local, walking on your favorite trail. Maybe it was a recent movie that you went to or a recent event. Imagine this experience in detail with all the five senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. Each thing that you continue to be grateful for brings you an abundance of overflowing gratitude. And with each inhale in, that gratitude within your being expands. With each exhale out, sending those positive emotions more within your being. And now shift to this present moment, thinking of why you are grateful for the here and now, the moment you are in. Being okay with where you are, how things are going, and what lies ahead. Think or say out loud to yourself, I am grateful. I allow myself to feel gratitude. Then repeating once more, I am grateful. I allow myself to feel gratitude. When ready, start to bring that awareness back to the surroundings around you. Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. And then gently open your eyes or allow your gaze to come back to the screen to join in together today. So thank you so much for practicing that gratitude meditation. Feel free to take any techniques with you, or you can come back to this video anytime to repeat the practice. Next up, join me on my mat, and we are going to start our gratitude yoga flow. Right, so we're going to start in a seated position. So coming to a seated position here on the mat. We're going to reach up with our arms and hands, bringing our palms together. And then as we start to tilt to the right side, release our right palm down to the mat, bending over to that right side. Start to extend that right arm as you come back to center, and then left hand goes to the mat and we tilt over to the other side. So seated side bend. Repeating this with your breath, inhaling in, coming back to center, and exhaling out, bending to one side. Continue that gratitude practice. So each time you inhale, expand your lungs, expand that gratitude. When leading back up, neutral position, bring our hands and arms down to our side. Left hand's gonna go to our right knee, and we're gonna start to swivel our hips. Right hand goes a little bit behind us, seated twist to the right side. Start to swivel your hips, release the hands. Right hand goes to the left knee, left hand behind, seated twist to the left side. Swivel the hips back to center. Bring our hands to our knees, seated cat and cow. Rounding the back, dropping the chin for cat. And lifting ourselves back up, elbows behind, open heart space for cow. Continue between those two motions here, seated cat and seated cow. And you can even pair your breath. So you're going to exhale to cat. Inhale back up to your cow. One more time. Then coming back to an aligned seated position, we'll go to our hands at our knees for tabletop. So when ready, making your way there. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Pelvis comes a little forward as we tuck our navel in, shoulders down and back, thinking of a really aligned, steady back here. We're going to start to lift our left knee, flex that left foot and lengthen it out. You could stay here or reach with your opposite arm, so right arm here. Elbow and knee meets underneath the body, and then expanding, lengthening back up. So inhale, extend, exhale, knee to elbow. One more time. Then hands and knees go back to tabletop. Lift that left hand that was holding and supporting us so gracefully and start to just rotate the wrists a little bit. Back to tabletop, engage that core. Then lift the right knee, flex the foot, lengthen the leg, and lengthen that left hand out in front. Knee to elbow underneath the body, and then extending back out. So exhale, knee to elbow, inhale, reach. One more time. Back to tabletop and lift that right hand off the mat, rotate the wrist, maybe shake the hand out. Here in our tabletop, we're going to go to a child's pose. Knees go wider out to the edges of the mat, big toes together. Bring our seat back, reach forward, lower either to a side of the face or to the forehead. Taking a few breaths here. Lowering the shoulders deeper into the mat. Start to lift up to knees and forearms. Then bring your hands back to the mat, palms facing the mat. Here we're going to do thread the needle, lifting up our right hand and arm, opening up hips to that side, and then bringing our hand underneath the body, thread the needle to the left side, reaching out with the left arm and hand. Breath here. Lifting back up, bringing hands, palms to the mat. Then lift up with the left hand and arm, open up the left hip, and thread the needle. Let's start to do that in our own rhythm and pace back and forth. So lifting back up, and lifting the right arm, thread the needle through. Lifting back up, lifting the left hand and arm up and thread the needle through. One more time on either side. This time, bring your knees back to neutral tabletop underneath those hips. Curl the toes, lift the knees up, send the shine up above, downward dog. Maybe you pedal the legs. Maybe you bend a little in the elbow, deepening the stretch, but pressing through your fingertips, your fingers, even your palm, just to support your wrists. Start to lift that left foot off the mat, point behind, three-legged dog. Then bend in the knee, bringing it underneath, place that foot between the hands, drop the left knee down, uncurl the toes, and lifting up with your hands and arms, you've got your low lunge. Hands meet, palms together, lower to heart center. Take a moment of gratitude here, inhaling in and exhaling out. Reach the arms and hands out to the side, elbows a little bit behind. Shine your heart more up to the ceiling, so we're taking a little bit of an arch back bend. Reaching our hands up to the sky, shine forward, bringing our hands back to the mat. Curl that toe, back toe, lift the knee. You've got your runner's lunge. Now, step forward into forward fold. Take a breath here. Then, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, let it go. Then it means place the palms on the mat. Step back with your feet behind your high plank, hands underneath the shoulders, or plank on your knees. Chaturanga down. Cobra back up. Curl the toes, lift the knees, come to your downward dog. Taking a few breaths here. Breathing. Maybe you pedal the legs or sway the hips. When ready, lift the left foot, point the toe. Three-legged dog. Bend in the knee, bring it underneath. Place that foot lower the back knee, curl the toes so you're flattening the foot and lift up. You've got your low lunge. Hands come out to the side. Palms facing the front of the mat, bend the elbows a little bit behind as you arch a little bit back. Keep that core of the navel into the spine, that will help. Reach the arms up, shine forward, and bring the hands in line with that front foot. Curl the back toe, lift the knee, and step forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, let it go. Then you're going to place your palms on the ground, bend the knee a little bit here. Step back with both of your feet, one at a time, plank. You're either high plank or plank on your knees. Chaturanga down. And baby cobra sphinx or cobra back up. Shining your heart space forward. Curl the back toes, lift to high plank, and then downward dog. We're going to do that again through, but this time we're going to, instead of doing a low lunge, we're going to do a high lunge on either side. When ready, lift the right toe, point it behind, three-legged dog. Then bend in the knee, place that foot. Then lift up, high lunge. And you can always flatten the back foot like I did here for support. So if you have the heel up, toes facing forward, this is a crescent lunge, high lunge. If you flatten the foot, point the toes a little out to the side of the mat. It's our warrior one. You can choose either one. So make sure that navel is in. You'll feel engagement in that left quad here, the hip flexor. We're going to bring our hands out to the sides, palms facing the front of the mat. Bend in the elbow. Arch a little bit back here, shine that heart forward. Reaching arms up. You're going to start to shine here. You could stay here. You could bring your arms behind, shining more of that heart forward, or challenge move. Come to your warrior three, very gently. Come back to low lunge, lifting up here. From here, we're going to take that step forward, uplifted mountain, and then hands here together. We're going to come to a one-legged star pose. So bringing our hands out. See, bringing the navel in for support, bend in the knee, lean more on the left foot, and taking that right foot out. You can do any kind of star. If you want to do more of a bend, you can, or you can keep it here, more up. Coming back to our mountain pose. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, let it go. Bend the knee, bring your palms to the mat, step back to your high lunge or lunge on your knees. Chaturanga down, baby cobra sphinx or cobra up. Curl the toes, lift a high plank, then back to your downward dog. 3 breaths here. Lift the left foot off the mat, point the toes behind, lengthen that leg. Bend in the knee, bring it underneath the body, place that foot in between the hands, and lift up for your crescent lunge or high lunge. Take a breath. Bring your arms out to a T to the side, palms facing the front of the mat, bend the elbows back and arch a little bit back. Bring the arms back up. Shine yourself forward. You can stay here. You could lift up to the toe and then to your warrior 3. Then come back down to your low lunge, your high lunge. Take a step forward. Bring your hands together, like so, over your head. And we're gonna do one-legged star, other side. So first, start to lift up the left foot point, and then bringing your hands here. Anytime you need to take a little bit of a balance break, you bring your toe back to the mat. So maybe see where you want to take the star. Then come back to your mountain pose. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Drop your seat, come to a seat on the mat. Feet come in front, knees up to the sky. Option to do supported boat or boat. Supported boat is hands on the mat on either side, palms facing the our palms on the mat, and then fingers facing the front of the mat. Then you kind of lift, then in the elbow, you go to your forearm, you go to your forearm, and you're here. That's supported boat. Otherwise, boat, come up here and gently come down to the mat. Plug your knees in. Rock a little bit side to side. Release the hands out to a T, palms facing the ceiling. And start to bring your knees all the way down in the supine twist to the left side. Gazing over your your right hand. Taking 2 breaths here. Bring the knees back up to center, flat back on the mat, and then moving them to a supine twist on the right side, gazing over at the left hand. 2 breaths here. Bring your knees back together. Palms can now face the floor, more in a diagonal with your arms. Bring a foot to the mat, the other foot to the mat, and extend the legs all the way out into our corpse pose. If you wish, you could bring a hand over the heart and over the diaphragm. Returning to your breath and your gratitude meditation. So inhaling in, I am grateful. Exhaling out. With each breath, your gratitude expands just a little bit more. Hands clasping them and bringing them over your rib cage, dropping the chin, really just relaxing, shoulders into the ground. Gently rolling onto the side of your body. Maybe you bring the knees together and an arm underneath your head. Taking 2 breaths here. And slowly start to lift back up to your seated position. Knowing that you can come back to this gratitude practice anytime, anywhere. So I just want to thank you for being here for day 4 of the Self-Love Challenge. So happy to have you here. Make sure you give yourself that credit, celebrate for you. Tomorrow is day 5, which will be the last day of our challenge. And then after the last day of our challenge, there are ways to plug in. We have a self-care portal that's only $10 a month. And there you have daily journal prompts if you would like. We have yoga flows that are updated, all that kind of stuff, and a forum to connect with other people. So thank you again, and we will see you tomorrow.